my live Q&A session today. I know it's been a long weekend and lots of you have been emailing me. I know some of you I have replied to in person over the weekend, and I know that I've got some of you booked in to talk to you one-to-one coming up this week. So hi everyone, thanks for joining. Hi Nadine, hi Isabel, hi Megan, Carol, Deborah, ASP Network, hello, and hi everyone on YouTube who's joining too. I just, I know this has been a long weekend, and I know that a lot of you have been having some tough times. So I've got some emails printed out from those of you who've been in touch and asked me to answer your questions today, which I will be doing. Also, if you have any questions today, then do drop them in the DM live, into the Instagram live. Just pop in the chat if you've got anything that you'd like me to talk about, any topics or any specific questions that I can answer for you while you're here live too. I know that there were quite a few people asking about one of the Instagram posts that I put up over the weekend about an article, I think it was in Marie Claire, where it talks about a lady who is suffering in lockdown. They'd agreed to break up during lockdown, and I know that a lot of you are experiencing the same thing, which is why I wanted to talk about it. I know some of you are asking me if I could talk about it as a theme in my talk today. So that's what I'm going to cover as well today, about being in lockdown with someone that you have broken up with, but are having to spend time in lockdown with now, which can be super, super tricky for lots and lots of reasons. So let's talk about that one first, and then if you've got any questions, do jump in with them or ask me, and I will get to those as well today. So the article in Marie Claire was all about a lady that is in lockdown with her husband and her 2 children, playing happy families and just trying to survive this difficult time, because she'd agreed after a long time that she was going to leave her husband, and it had been years coming, but eventually she'd made the decision that she would sit down and talk to him. So she did that just before lockdown and said she was leaving. Obviously he was devastated, he didn't want it to happen, even though some of these issues had been addressed over a long period of time. He thought that they could just muddle through, but she'd been brave enough to actually face it and say, look, this isn't working for me, I want out. So she'd done that, but before they could really move forward on that and actually put anything into action and one of them move out or make any decisions about how it was going to be, lockdown happened. So then they were back in as happy families. Now what she was saying is that she is carrying on as normal, and her ex and her haven't even talked about it since. Now, interesting, I guess, because, oh, sorry guys, what have I done here? Trying to wave at people and it's, hang on. Hang on. Sorry, what is going on here? Turn the camera around for a start. Okay, right, sorry about that. Technology, yeah. So anyway, if you see my FaceTime live, it was hilarious with 38 degrees north yesterday, Sunday. Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know if you saw it. Some of it is up on my Instagram. But yeah, that was a very funny technology issue we had going with that too. But anyway, yeah, so to come back to say, so basically her and her husband are basically muddling through, and they haven't mentioned the topic of breakup at all. So they haven't mentioned it. So he is acting as if nothing's going on. She's playing happy families because she feels like there's nothing she can do. So she's just carrying on, but she thinks that her husband is going to be shocked at the end of it when she turns around to say, look, I still want to leave, I still want to go, I don't want to be here. So it's an interesting one, isn't it? What do you do? What do you do? Do you carry on as normal, or do you make a deal? Now obviously everybody's different, every family is different, so there's no sort of general wide sweeping advice that affects everybody. But what I would say is you've got to trust your instincts. Like, if to get through the 10 weeks or however long it's going to be, I mean, gosh, who knows? I mean, luckily it appears that things are easing, but you know what it's going to be, we don't know. And that before you can really make any concrete decisions about big life changes like that, it may take some time. So this lady in Marie Claire had decided she was just going to get on with it and not say much or anything at all. But she's now thinking, gosh, friends and family are going to look back at this time and say, well, we thought you guys were happy. They've been FaceTime people, and she has no privacy to talk to her friends, to do anything, because her husband's always there, and he comes on FaceTimes and waves behind her. And all these things which make her feel like it's going to be very difficult because he's acting as if everything is absolutely fine and normal. And she's just, this anxiety and stress is building up in her because she feels like she's got to do it all over again, sit down, have that big chat at the end again about, gosh, you know, I am leaving, I am going. And he's going to be like, but everything's been fine for the last 3 months. So, you know, how can you suddenly spring this on me? So if those of you are in this situation, like I say, is you've got to just do what you think is right for now. Take one day at a time. You can't worry about what's going to happen in the future. It will not be as bad doing it a second time because he already knows that. I think, you know, what I've learned from doing this job for so long is that a lot of the times people will only hear what they want to hear. And he will know deep down, but may see this as a chance to show you how good it can be in the hope of changing your mind. But I know from a lot of you that you've already been past that, what I call the switch flicking moment, where something goes in your head and you just know you're not going back. You can't go back. You couldn't go back. It just doesn't work anymore. And the challenge is when that's happened reversely. So if that's your partner having had that with you, because quite a lot of the time your partner will have gone through the, should I stay, should I not, can I make this work, I'm going to try different things, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, before they've told you they're having doubts. And I see this so many times. People are in shock because their partner's just got up and left, but actually their partner seems to be fine with it, and they can't, they're reeling from it, going, well, how do they seem to be fine? How do they seem to be having made this decision and not even want to talk to me about it, and they're just getting on with their life? Well, actually, what happens is for these people, it's been going on for a long time. Just like this lady in Marie Claire, she'd been going through this process for a long time, saying, I want to leave, I'm not happy, this isn't right inside. And she hadn't said anything to her partner because she felt bad about the children, she felt bad about losing the life, she was worried about certain aspects of it. So she'd processed a lot of this before lockdown had even started. So when she announced it just before lockdown, she'd already made her decision. So you see how it's different when you've made a decision and you're going forward. It's like you've processed it, and it's that switch flicking moment where you're like, right, I'm done, I made the decision, I'm going to pluck up courage, I'm going to stay. So if that has been the case for your partner and they've done that to you, then you can understand how sometimes it will be as if they don't care, but it's almost like they've gone through that process. That the reality is they've gone through that process already, just on their own. Now, is that the best way to do it? No, obviously we would love it if they could talk and communicate and get you on board so you would have had a chance to do something about it. But for whatever reason, they didn't. Now, we can't control other people, we can only control us, remember. We can only control, you can only control how you feel about things and how you interpret the situation. So if you can understand and have a little bit more clarity about why sometimes it feels like they're being insensitive and moving on, it could be because they've already gone through this process. Now, obviously for some people it will be that they're just insensitive and lack of empathy. But in this case, this lady, she's had a bit of time to come to terms with things, but her husband hadn't. So now he's sort of doing all the legwork during lockdown, going, I can make this work. Oh, look, everything's great. We're happy. Hi, everyone. Look at our perfect family. And obviously he's not going to want to make it easy for you to leave if he wants you to stay. So I think these things are important just to have more clarity, because clarity on your situation will give you power. What do I mean by that? Clarity gives you power. Well, the more you understand, the deeper understanding you have of why things might have happened, means that you can, it dials down some of that overwhelm and uncertainty and actually gives you a way to think, right, okay, this is why this is happening. Now, what can I do about it? Now, sometimes there'll be something you can do to fix things, and sometimes there won't be. But what you can still do is control how you feel and put things in place to support you to move forward. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit. I've got a question here that's come in yesterday. Hello, Sarah, your talks on Instagram have really been helping me over the last few months. My husband broke up with me at the beginning of lockdown and has left our home today. It's been incredibly traumatic with a lot of betrayal on his part. So betrayal, guys, is one of the hardest, trickiest, gloopiest emotions to sort of free yourself of, because it's a double whammy. Because it's not only that someone's leaving, it's also that they've betrayed your trust. And that can have an impact on your self-confidence, your self-esteem, trusting other people. So all those things, there's a ripple effect from betrayal that kind of goes quite deep. You can do something about it. Good news is you can move on. You can, absolutely. I'm living proof for so a lot of my clients that you can. But it's about really understanding what's going on for you and deep diving for betrayal. So I'm struggling to see what to do next and how to maintain an amicable relationship for our daughter. I'm devastated by what he's done. but he shows little feeling about any of it. So I'm not sure if this lady's on right now or not, but what I would like to know is, has he ever showed any feeling? Because quite a lot of the time we will react to what's going on right now, but we've got to think, actually, have they ever been that person? Have they ever been the loyal person? Have they ever been the person that shows emotion? Have they ever been the person that really gets you, or is there to support you, or has done things for you? And I had a client the other day, and she said that she'd found it really upsetting when they come to break up, that her husband wasn't helping her, and he stopped doing all these jobs around the house. And so when we went through all the things he used to do, really he hadn't done anything at all. But it for some reason we sort of blur reality, and then we sort of just dealing with what we're seeing right now. Well, actually, sometimes these behaviours have always been there. You've never had that support. You've never had that kind of love. You've never had that trust in your partner. So it's not that things have suddenly changed. So it's important to sort of really look back and just see where you've had your head in the sand, because that will give you more clarity again about what really is going on, and help to dial down some of the tentative and negative emotions right now. You can look back and say, look, it never really was. Quite often we have like this fairy tale picture of what we want our relationship to be like, what we think our ex is, who we think our partner is. But in reality, that might be us with our rose-tinted glasses. We've talked about this before, sort of strapped onto our face, going, oh, I want them to be sympathetic and kind and loving and all these things, and loyal. So we look past, we filter out the things we don't want to see. And it's human nature. We all do it. We do it with partners. We do it with loved ones. We do it. We do it with all sorts of people, friendships and things like that as well. But actually, we need to look at the reality. And when you see the reality, sometimes you go, gosh, they were never that person. With hindsight is a great thing. Sometimes we look back and say, gosh, those warning signs were there right at the beginning. I just didn't pick up on them, or I refused to listen to them, or they were only there for fleeting glances that made me think, oh, I don't feel right about that. But then you carry on because they sort of get pushed out of sight. But hindsight is a great thing, which is why a lot of the work that we've been doing over the last couple of months doing these free sessions are looking at what you need from a partner, not just what you want. So we can put that safety net beneath you, so that when you do start to date, when you are out there with other people, you're putting these safety nets in place so that you can really look at what you need from a partner. Now, you can have your fun with Mr. Right Now or Miss Right Now, absolutely. It's important to do that, because that's what boosts your confidence, makes you feel good, gets your sassiness back. Having sex with somebody else other than your partner might be a very daunting thought, but it's something that actually will boost your confidence and make you think, right, okay. It's almost like a letting go of your partner. Just getting intimate, having a kiss, going out for dinner with somebody else, even if they're not your forever person. And please, let's not focus on finding the next forever person, because let's just focus on having a bit of fun and rebuilding you, because that's the way to attract the ideal partner, is just to be relaxed and be yourself, and just be open to dating and having some fun for a little while without putting that pressure on yourself that you've got to find the perfect person. So, okay, let's go back to this. So I'm devastated by what he's done, because he's betrayed her, remember. But he shows little feeling about any of it. I've spoken to very few people about what has happened, and have been trying to maintain a positive outlook on things, and only wishing this onto him is hard. Not sure what that means. Do you have any advice for where to start, or how I support my daughter when I'm worried he's constantly going to let her down? Your talks have helped me to feel a bit more positive, but I struggle to listen to them at 2 p.m. because I'm working. But you can listen to them on YouTube, on my live section on YouTube on my channel, because all the videos I've done throughout lockdown, nearly all of them, my technology has allowed, are on there on my YouTube channel, Sarah Davison Divorce Coach, under the live section. So yes, I have lots of tips for how to start to move on. First of all, as you know, you can't change him, and wishing we could change someone, thinking about them and what they're doing and anticipating the next move is the natural thing we go to when we go through a breakup. But actually what we need to do is start to shift your focus back on you. We want to start thinking about you, okay? So ultimately, as we said, you cannot control what he does or says or what he has done. What we can control is you. So you can't also control what your daughter's feeling, but you can help her. Now, I'm not sure, do we know how old your daughter is? No, because I mean, obviously the advice would be different for a very little daughter or an older daughter. But actually, kids will learn a lot from you. And this is the chance to turn your breakup into something that's an empowering life lesson for them, because they're going to see that sometimes life doesn't work out the way you want it to work out. You know, we can't wrap our kids up in cotton wool forever, however much as parents we might want to. But what you can do is show them how to cheer themselves up when they're feeling down by showing them what you're doing. So using some of my techniques like body language, shifting your body language, doing 5-star jumps, one of my favorites, instantly changes your state. Getting outside, talking about something different, all those things are going to start to shift your focus in that moment when you feel sad. Okay, and it's great to be able to teach kids these things because they soak them up like a little sponge, especially, you know, if they're under sort of 10 years old. It's something that they will incorporate in their own coping strategies as they grow up, which again is a very valuable life lesson for children to learn. So what I would say about, just trying to see specifically, so do you have any advice of where to start? Yeah, first of all, first things first, we need to make sure you've got a good breakup support team around you. So who is around you that can support you and make you feel good about yourself? There's a difference between just having friends that are going to sit and bitch and moan with you about your ex, because we need those too. But in your breakup support team, what we want is someone that is going to be one of those positive friends who's a little bit disconnected from the emotional side. You know, they don't feel betrayed by your ex or upset by your ex in any way, necessarily personally, because we all have family members that be like, I can't believe it, we welcomed him into our home and all those times he's done this, you know, or a best friend like the one I was mentioning to you before, who went and chopped up all his suits at her house one evening with a couple of bottles of wine. Those sort of friends aren't going to help you in this situation. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about friends that can just make you feel good about yourself, but give you a bit more of an empowered perspective, that are going to give you constructive advice. So pick a few friends like that that you can have on speed dial, and make sure you've got them set up, as well as someone that you can exercise with, whether it's taking the dog for a walk, just a brisk walk, maybe you go out for a run. I mean, I know it's restricted at the moment, but maybe there's something you can do in your house. But moving your body is going to help you. And I know it's usually the last thing we feel like. You want to get into bed, pull the duvet over your head and just eat crisps or chocolate or whatever your thing is. But actually that is going to make you feel worse in the long run. Now, it's not to say that there isn't a time and a place for those things, because there absolutely is, obviously. And it's human nature, and you need to grieve and you need to let go of some of those tears. But in order to move forward, what we need to do is looking at doing different things. So these are things that I'm suggesting will help you. So I think talking to somebody would be a really positive thing if you can find somebody that's uplifting. I know you haven't spoken to many people about it. You know, you could talk to a friend, a well-meaning friend who's got some positive, constructive advice, or family member. You could find a coach or a therapist or a counselor or somebody that would help you with that as well, if you wanted, you know, more specific expert advice on that. But I think talking about it is going to help. I would definitely read my books. Uncoupling is a great book to start with, and that is available on Amazon, as is my book, The Split. And The Split is broken down to a 30-day plan, from breakup to breakthrough in 30 days or less. And it gives you all my techniques just in bite-sized chunks on a day-by-day plan. So it's small, manageable. You can tick them off as you go, a chapter a day, and in a month you can move forward. Absolutely. So that is actually really important. Someone here said, or a single parent group. Yeah, I mean, if you can find support in other places. One thing that I do think can be slightly difficult, and I've seen this happen so many times, is that people join groups and it becomes a little bit of a negative vibe because you're connected on being rejected or being dumped or that kind of thing. Now, something that when I do my retreats, I'm very tough on, because that will only re-anchor you to feeling bad. You know, one of my techniques is don't tell your sad story over and over again. I know it's hard because it's natural to want to tell your story and to update your friends when you see them, but actually what it does is it re-anchors you to all the pain and the heartbreak, because your body's wired so that when you tell a story, your brain is, I know this story, I know this, it's tough, and I talk about it, and then and then I feel bad, and then the bit where he cheated on me, that really hurts, and I feel it in my stomach, and I feel sick, and I get emotional. And it's just retelling it re-anchors you to all those actual visceral real pains you experience all over again, because your brain doesn't know the difference between you telling a story about something that happened a long time ago and it being happening right now. Like, he just connects those two emotions and brings them back. It's like when you hear a song maybe from 20 years ago and it takes you back to a time, I remember this song when I was driving my car through, whatever. So just be careful, because you've got to take control of this, and connecting with people in groups can sometimes connect you on the love and connection that you've lost from your partner by telling your sad story. It's a classic thing that I see time and time again, because it's human nature. You go to the butchers, or you go to the hairdressers, or you get your nails done, and then someone's telling you the story again. Oh, well, yeah. Well, what's the update? Oh, well, you never guess what's happened now. Or I found out this today. Actually, when he went there, he was seeing this person. When she did this, she was seeing that person. So it just brings back the pain. Now, I know it's easier said than done, and I know it's like a coping mechanism for a lot of people, but if you're going into a group to get your love and connection on the sad story, it's just going to reinforce you staying stuck. So unless there's a group where they don't do that, and there may well be groups that don't do that, but I just want, if you're going to join them for solidarity, make sure you don't get stuck, okay? And you see this a lot with toxic relationships. There's a lot of forums on narcissists and difficult partners and things. People get in there, but actually what you want to do is get the information and then get the hell out, use the information to learn the rules of the game and get 2 steps ahead of your ex. You don't want to stay in and hearing all these stories, because it's just reconnecting you to all your pain, okay? So it's really important that you don't immerse yourself in a toxic environment, that you only connect with people who are going to say, right, yeah, it's bad, we get it, we're here for you, and then let's build up and let's move forward with that. So so you run a network. Okay, ASP network. We try and have a positive forum. Great. Yeah, that's great. I mean, it can have a lot of value for people, those sort of things, but you just got to be aware of that. If you're going to join, make sure you don't feel like it's dimming you. Hopefully they have talks by people that are going to uplift you, or information from people and techniques and strategies, not just talking about the sad story. It's right, and this is what you do about it. That's what I would suggest. Okay, so Sister Shin, awaiting a court date and finding it hard to focus on the positive and not the sad story. Yeah, it's really tough when you've got a court date coming up, because it's also quite scary and intimidating, isn't it? And the fear of the unknown. So it can be difficult. It's when you really have to dig deep. You have to up sometimes your game a little bit for your exercise routine, or you're finding your support system, especially in lockdown. It's so hard in lockdown when you've got everything else that's causing pressure and upset, to really sort of try and find the light at the end of the tunnel. But it is there, and it will come. So it's about trying to just consciously be aware that you need to shift your focus, and sometimes just total distraction will work. So like your best boxer. I mean, I don't know if any of you've seen recently Little Fires Everywhere, which has come out on Netflix just literally a couple of days ago, Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington. It's quite an all-absorbing, slightly dark in places drama series, but it's brilliant for total distraction. Just immerse yourself in something. Or for those ladies amongst you, Madam Secretary is absolutely awesome for watching a kick-ass female role model doing her stuff in a tough environment with difficult people. Sometimes that kind of thing is just a bit inspiring, and it's distracting, and it's just you don't think about anything else. And with Madam Secretary, there's like, I don't know, 5 series, so you can really immerse yourself and get stuck in those things. But doing something that sort of makes you feel slightly more empowered is good. Or having Deepak's, meditation, 21-day meditation program that you just dip in and out of. All these things, you've got to stack little tools together. So yeah. Oh, here we go. So Sister Shin is already on episode 5 and only started it yesterday. You're ahead of me. I think I'm on episode 2 and only started it on Sunday, I think. So it's great though. I love it. Nadine says, what can we say to people when they do ask? Any good get out phrases? Yeah, I mean, for example, if someone says, oh, are you divorced? I always say, oh yeah, happily divorced, thanks. A smile. Like, because they go, oh, happily divorced. Oh, well, okay then. So then it's like, oh, phew, okay. But if someone's asking, well, what's going on? You go, well, you know what? Sometimes it's up and down, but you know what I'm looking forward to is, because I want you to have that blank canvas that you're throwing colour onto, that we've been talking about over the last couple of months, where we're coming up with ideas that you're excited about, that you're spending time thinking about, well, what could I do? If I could do anything, what would it be? And sort of dreaming bigger and blue sky scenario, just so that you've got some ideas there, so that you've got something to focus on and move towards. So yeah, I would always think about it and practice it in advance. This is really key, guys. Don't just leave it until someone asks you and then you go, oh, I'll just tell them the story just this time. It's very tempting. I know, I've been there a million times. But actually, if you think about it and you prepare it in the bathroom mirror, go, oh yeah, you know what? ups and downs, but you know, I'm staying strong. It's a positive thing. I'm staying strong, and you know what I'm really looking forward to is, and then give them something. You know, I've been enjoying spending time with my kids, or I'm looking forward to, you know, I'm doing this new exercise routine. Have you tried Davina's workout at home, or taken up Zumba, or you know what it's actually done is, and say something positive. Look for the silver lining, the flip it part of your breakup. Well, actually, the silver lining is I actually feel relieved right now, because at least we know that it's happening, and I'm just getting used to it now. And actually, I'm excited. I'm only, you know, however old you are, I've got a whole life ahead of me, and you know, I've joined a dating app. You know, just flip it and give them something else. Because Nadine, I'm hoping you're dating away now, so so you can talk to them definitely about that. Some nice photos of you on there. Let's see what else we got. Oh yes, Suzanne. Hi, Suzanne. She's training to be one of my coaches. Suzanne says, love Madam Secretary. Yes, she is awesome. She really is. And actually, just watching other people overcome adversity, I know it's strange, but there's lots of true movies out there. And my son's really into war movies at the moment, and there's a lot of ones that are based on true scenarios. And I find that actually, when you're going through a tough time, watching something, I mean, obviously war, completely different scenario, and horrific in so many hideous ways, so much worse than a breakup or a divorce. But actually, just watching some of those stories and seeing the true courage of people and what they've actually done, and that they were scared, and that they didn't know what was going to happen, and they were facing extreme upset, turmoil, losing everything, losing their life in a lot of situations, overcoming huge trauma, injury, death of people, grief, confidence issues, all these things. There's so many true stories out there. There's stories about legal thrillers where a lawyer's taken on somebody, maybe can't remember the name of it, but there was the first law case for I don't know, there's lots of things on Netflix and things like that. Afterlife on Netflix. Yeah, I find that quite tough though. I don't know about anyone else. I mean, I think Afterlife is, yeah, is it based on a true story, that one? I don't know. I don't think he's actually gone through it himself, has he? But I don't know. I mean, there's really good movies about people that overcome adversity, like The Suffragettes. Watch that, awesome movie. You know, there's lots of things. There's war movies where people have actually gone to war and done things. There's other movies about legal cases. There's lots of true movies based on true stories where people overcome real adversity, and it's true. It's true, real life stuff. And I think watching those will inspire you to dig deep. It also gives you a sense of perspective, because some of these people have gone through just the most hellish situations, and it gives us a bit of perspective on our own situation. And that's not diminishing your situation and how difficult it is, but what it does is it gives us a little bit of perspective to be able to really understand how, you know, it might be tough, but there's always someone else out there that's got it a lot tougher. So I would watch it, enjoy those sort of things, because you'll find those empowering and motivating as well. That's a really good way of turning things around. So I hope you found this helpful, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. The Blind Side. The Blind Side. I don't know that. Is that the one? Oh, that's the one with the is it Sandra Bullock, and she takes in the kid. Yeah, that's a really good one. There's also another one at the moment. The Upside, have you seen that? That's another one. I think it's based on a true story, where a guy looks after a very wealthy guy who's a paraplegic. Have you seen that? Yeah, there's loads of really cool stuff. Yes. Okay, yeah. I mean, there's loads of movies. If you just research uplifting true movies, then all, you know, whatever you are into, whether it's crime, thrillers, romance, whatever, there's lots out there that are based on true stories, and it's really powerful, and it can be really uplifting as well. So I totally recommend that as well. I think that's a really good one. Hello, everybody. Right. I know some of you are just joining, but we've been going for half an hour. So now it's time for me to close down, and I will be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Do message me, DM me if you want, or just jump on tomorrow at 2 p.m. for more information, for more advice, more help. I'm here. All my past videos, if you're interested in watching any of my lives back again, they are all up on my YouTube channel, where technology has allowed me to put them up there. They are up there. So I hope this has helped. Sending you big hugs and lots of love. I'm here for you, and I will see you tomorrow. Lots of love. Bye. Bye.